Alright, so let's try this again. Let's see if it works today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete this directions thing because you don't have to type anything. I've provided all the content for you. The heading for the minutes is very similar to the heading for the agenda. So it will be these top 3 line items. And we're going to horizontally center it. Alright, so this is not bold. We're going to click the big B over here to make it bold. And then we're going to modify this just a little bit. We're going to make sure it says meeting minutes. And it's in all capitals. It's just how this document is set up. I don't like all capitals, especially in business documents, because it could appear that you're screaming at someone. Not sure if y'all know what that means, but if you send a message in all capitals, it does mean that. It means you're screaming at them. Okay, so the first component in minutes or an agenda, because they're very similar, minutes is just like a transcription of everything that happened, is a call to order. So we're going to highlight this information right here where it says call to order. Claudia Skinner, and she called the meeting to order here. I'm going to click and hold the mouse, and I'm going to roll the mouse up to here. And I'm doing that because the call to order comes first. I'm going to highlight it and make it bold. Alright, so the call to order is in place. That's pretty easy. The next component is roll call, which in all the roll call information is right here. Alright, so I'm going to press enter because you have to double space between items. Within the item, it is single spaced, but between items, it is double spaced. Alright, so state officers present, that we're going to highlight it, and we're going to drag it down to right here. Alright, now I don't know what happened to this when I saved it. I saved it as text. We're going to put a comma, a space, and a delete, so it brings the next person's name up. So then it's not spaced out kind of awkwardly and takes up too many lines. That's just kind of a bit ridiculous. Alright, and there's a space between board members present and state officers present. Board members present should also be in bold. State officers present should be in bold, and those names should be below the title of state officers present. And we're going to do the same thing. Put a comma after their title, a space, because you have to have a space between a comma and the next word or name. And then you press delete to bring that next line up. Okay, so that's all done. Now I double space between state officers present and minutes. Alright, and this is not just minutes. This is approval of minutes from the last meeting. Alright, and that needs to be bold as well. Okay, so the next item is open issues, and that will be here. And if you notice, it came up in italics. It did that because the area right below it is in italic. It should not, any of it, be in italics. So I highlighted it and I made it all unitalicized. And if you notice, it's also got some quirky spacing. So we're going to click paragraph. We're going to choose single. It should be before 0 and after 0. So we're going to go ahead and make this easy for you and set this as default. Well, now we're just going to click OK. Alright, so open issues, that's a new heading. So we put double space in between open issues and new business. Open issues, that title should be bold as well. New business, we're going to retype it because it should not be in all capitals. And this should be bold as well. Alright, so Mr. Skinner's got the board members, seconded and carried. Information, scholarships, 10 students applied for the scholarship. The next one is announcements. This is the new topic. Announcements should not be capital. It should all be lowercase, except the beginning word. I'm sorry, the beginning letter. And then we're going to make this bold as well. We're going to highlight it and make it bold. Alright, now here you see it's kind of like mumbo jumbo. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here. We're going to enter it down, create some spacing, because it says the meeting was adjourned at 9:30. Well, this should be the adjournment heading. And this should be bold as well. Okay. Then you scroll up. I just have mine on view 2 pages. If you want to have yours on view 2 pages, just choose multiple pages and it will automatically choose 2 pages for you. Okay, so respectfully submitted. This is wording that will be used more in letters than it would in an agenda. So we're going to take that out and we're going to put minutes submitted by. And we're going to put in a colon and then we're going to leave her name there. Okay, then we're going to double space and we're going to put minutes approved by. Sorry, I should be a little late. And then we're going to put North Carolina, NC, FBLA, Board of Directors. Because these are the people that approve the minutes. Okay, so we're almost there. We're in the home stretch. Now we have a couple of formatting things to take care of. So if you go back to the home ribbon at the top, we want to make sure everything is numbered. I'm just going to use Roman numerals. You can use numbers if you choose, but I'm going to use Roman numerals. Okay, so when I do that, you see this stays over here on the left. This should all come up under call to order. Do you see how I did that? So I highlight it, and I come up here in the ruler, and if yours doesn't have the ruler, go to the view ribbon, and then yours might look like this. Click on ruler, and then the ruler will appear up here. Alright, so what you do is this little gadget here, I don't even know the name of it, shame on me. I'm going to click on the bottom little rectangle, and I'm going to drag it over to where it lines up with call to order. Pretty easy, right? So then we're going to go to roll call, and we're just going to click on this because it should automatically number. And then I'm going to drag all of these things over under roll call. I'm going to repeat the same thing for approval of minutes. Just getting everything lined up and good to go. Okay, so this one's going to be a little unique. Open issues. These are different items, so I want to highlight that these are different items. I want that to be acknowledged. So I'm going to come up here under numbering, and I'm going to choose the little a, the little b, and little c. So it does that, but I don't really like the way it's not lining up. See how it's lined up different than here? So I'm going to click here, and I want it to line up nice and pretty. Alright, so when you go to here and you click numbering, it's going to automatically pick up on these. So I'm going to select here. So it doesn't, so then it goes to new business. And then these, again, I'm going to click here on the down arrow. I'm going to choose the little a, little b, c, and d. And I don't like the way it's lined up there either, so I'm going to drag it over, and then I'm going to drag this one over. Okay, so we're in the home stretch, almost done. Alright, so then we've got announcements. Now you see, I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you just click on auto numbering. See, it picks up on this previous list, which is not what I wanted. So I'm going to click on this down arrow, and I'm going to choose Roman numerals. Then it will pick up on your previous numbered list that you have here. Alright, so announcements, there's only 2 of those, but I still want them to be outlined as different. So I'm going to drop down arrow, click these, and again I want it all to line up so it's just flush, it's just consistent. And then to move it over, I'm going to click on this hanging indent one, and I'm just going to move it over to here. Alright, adjournment. This needs to have its own Roman numeral. And see, it picks up and it became 7. Alright, so the meeting part of it, this needs to come over a bit. This needs to come over and line up. And then you need to double space between the meeting adjournment and then where the minutes were submitted by. Okay, so last step, and then you can save it. So for real, you're almost done. You're going to go to page layout. You're going to go to margins. And then mine is not here because I've changed my settings a little bit for different documents. So you're going to go to custom margins. You want it to have a 2-inch margin at the top, one on the bottom, one on the right, and one on the left. And then click OK. Alright, so then you see how it just shifts it all around just a smidgen. You'll save your work and then you submit it for grading. That's pretty easy. I hope you have a good day.